Hi, everyone. My name is Matt Haynes. I'm an audiobook narrator, and I am here with Brenda Clough for the Process Project, where I interview narrators and authors about the process of storytelling. Sometimes I'm the one that is talking about what I go through to put a narration together. Other times I'm interviewing other narrators. And I am just delighted to talk with our author, Brenda Clough, first with The River Twice. And Brenda, I wanted to ask you, first of all, where'd you get the idea for this one?
I don't remember. These things sort of just roll into your life. And I believe that I had cooked up a method of time travel, and it was deliberately untechnical. There was no physics, there was no, Dyson spheres, there was nothing hard about it, if you know what I mean. The idea was that um when you're doing time travel, you need a sort of concept of the universe. And the concept of the universe, which is the title of the trilogy, is that everything is either the edge or the center. And a good example would be like a donut. The donut has an edge, the crust of it, the sugar glazing, and it has the middle, the donutty, the cakey part of it. And these two things are the donut. If you lose one or the other, it is no longer a donut. It's like donut crumbs, or it's a raw donut or something like that. And so the idea is that if you're doing time travel, you're always moving from the everything takes place in the center is the idea. We are here in the center of our little time sphere. And if you wanted to move, you need to get to the edge. And from the edge, you can go from the edge to the center of another time. And so this is really loosey goosey. You understand? This has like no physics. It has no numbers. It has no nothing. It's just an idea, but it is perfectly adequate to hang three novels onto, because you don't have to actually go into this stuff, because you in fiction you don't actually have to do it. All you have to do is be convincing. It was convincing enough. It convinced me.
And just so we can back up, what would you say, just a quick thumbnail sketch of the plot of this book or the premise?
Well, what happened was a there is a there was in think that Charles Darwin wrote The Origin of the Species, and it came out in something like 1859, something like that, long time ago. And he had a competitor, actually, or a rival, a alleged rival, a young clergyman in the north of England who just, he read the uh, uh, Origin of the Species, and he said, "This is ridiculous. This is not the revolution in science that I could generate. What I will do is I will prove Charles Darwin is bupkis by creating a time machine." And he did this. And of course, to prove this works is you have to hop off through space and time. And things rapidly go pear-shaped. He never really does show Charles Darwin to be the second-rate thinker he really is, and nothing in fact does work out. Um, uh, he goes to where he had not intended and gets into trouble, develops a love life, and eventually winds up working for Steve Jobs in Southern California. And many hijinks ensue.
Now, when I was interviewing Tiana about the process of narrating this, she was talking about finding her groove with the voices, even though this is an alternate reality that we're in.
Mhm.
Um, and different sorts of things apply. There might be modifications to what a conventional accent for us here now might be for this demographic or this nationality and such.
Mhm.
And I just wondered, when you're creating alternate worlds, how do you ground yourself, how do you ground yourself in the world? What's the process that you go through to create a sense of consistency across the environments and across the characters' mannerisms?
Everything for me rolls down to the characters, and I have to have their voice. I don't, you probably understand this. I have to be able to hear how they talk. And uh time is not so, even the environment is not so very, very important, because it has to be a voice that we, the modern reader or listener, understands. And so you can't get too loosey and goosey with this. I All the nation shifting and even time or status tends to roll into vocabulary and word choice. I don't, you couldn't really have your character speaking in Martian, let us say, because then
Right.
what would all of us say here who have do not speak Martian and cannot understand it? So it's always vocabulary, uh, cadence, um, word choice. And so I can sort of do that. And I think in the characters in The River Twice, the two main characters are fairly different. Well, I have my 30-year-old clergyman who's bombing across space and time with his time machine, and the main person that he runs into, a teenage girl in Southeast Asia, who uh, speaks differently, but they both but they both necessarily have to speak English because of uh, the necessity of the readers.
Hmm. So would you say that when you are writing, do you find that you're going by a general thing that we often are told in English class or any other sort of American literature class of creative writing, which is write what you know. Do you find that you do that? Do you find that you draw these environments from people that you know or places that you know and just put your own spin on them?
I think that that's probably true. We always work from what we've got. And in a sense, they say there's nothing new under the sun. A lot of the things you're not really inventing them, you're finding they
Hmm.
they they're modeled on people you know, or people who you even hear on TV. And it comes naturally, I guess is what I'm saying. I don't think about it. Everybody has to be different, everybody has their own, they're just different, and that the way that's expressed on the page is with words.
Got it. Well, Brenda, thank you so much. We'll have everybody information on where you can grab The River Twice. If you've not seen the previous video with Tiana, that link will be below as well. Um, Thank you so much, Brenda, again. And as your narrator, as your storytellers, I hope that our voices, whether literary or literal, and your ears, whether that means your earbuds or your eyeballs, that we meet again real soon in those forums. Thank you.
Thanks a lot.